Hello, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my video, and I wanted to let you know not only do I create content in my YouTube channel here, Class in a Glass, but I'm also on Twitch where I play single-player games, multiplayer games, I do movie reviews, cartoon reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Also, it would be a big help if you can check out my Patreon, where you can gain access to audio commentaries, reactions, and the ability to submit questions for my podcasts and videocasts. And all that content can be found in the links below. In the meantime, enjoy the video.
You better wake up. The world you live in is just a sugar-coated topping. There is another world beneath it. The real world.
For thousands of years, they have existed among us.
You keep your eyes open. They're everywhere. Chances are you've seen them yourself and didn't know it.
There are worse things out tonight than vampires.
Like what?
Like me.
Half human,
Blade's mother was attacked by a vampire while she was pregnant.
half immortal. Wesley Snipes, Stephen Dorff,
You're one of them, aren't you?
No, I'm something else.
Blade.
Let me give something back to you, chat. Let me give this review of Blade back to you. And chat, let's get started. Let's get started, my friend. The year is 1967. And we're in the middle of the hospital, chat. And these doctors are panicking because they're wheeling this woman. Oh, looks like she's just about to poop out a baby, chat. About to front poop out a baby. But she's not, and not only is she about to give birth, chat. She has been bitten. Something has ravaged her neck. And, like, we gotta stop the bleeding. Something's going on. And, like, but, sir, we gotta take out the baby. She can't front poop it out. Like, take out the baby. Cesarean the baby out. And, chat, they cut along her big old belly. And they cut out the baby. It's this very fake-looking baby, too. Just lathered, chat. Lathered in anamonic fluid. And blood and guts and everything. And she's just reaching out for this fake-looking baby, chat. Oh, but then she fades away. And then now, chat, we cut. It's modern day. It is the distant future of 1998. And we're in a convertible, chat, and we are looking at a very pretty girl and a very dumb man. And she's taking this very dumb man, chat, to a rave. And boy, he's excited about it, chat. He won't shut the fuck up. And you can already tell that she is just so mad having to be in the car with this guy. But she's saying, it's worth it. It's worth it. He's going to make a wonderful snack for me and all my friends. It's going to be, he's like, it's like, Jesus Christ. He's so over the top. But they eventually park their nice convertible, chat. They get out, and they're in front of, like, a slaughterhouse. It's like, oh, that makes sense to have a fucking vampire commune, a vampire rave/club bar at a slaughterhouse, chat. Can hide all the blood. And so she takes him in there. He's like, what do we do at a slaughterhouse? This is ridiculous. This is crazy. She's like, shut the fuck up and come with me. And so she's taking him down here, chat. We're passing by all these animal carcasses. We see piggies. We see sheep. We see cows. And we see some type of, dead animal and like covered in sheets, chat, and they look very human. And the guy's like, look at him, he's like, wait, what the fuck was that? He's like, don't worry about it, just come with me. He's like, but those look like, chat, when I see fucking dead bodies in like, clear looking, or at least kind of murky looking fucking giant Ziploc bags, I'm gonna get the fuck out of there. Maybe this isn't the best place to be, in a slaughterhouse. I'm gonna leave, okay? I probably wouldn't think they were vampires, but I think there's some really shitty, nefarious shit going down. But this guy's too fucking stupid. All he wants to do is bang this girl. He's like, he doesn't care. His fight or flight reflexes, chat, they have been canceled out because of her. And so she brings him over, security guard, he lets him in, chat, and everyone is just, everyone's dancing. Everyone's having a good goddamn time. And he's like, whoa! And he just starts dancing immediately. And she's just like, all right, fuck this. She starts walking the crowd. And he's just like, okay, we'll see you later, babe. And he just starts dancing with everyone there, and no one wants anything to do with him. He's like, how you doing, guys? They're like, oh, fuck off, dude. Everyone's being so mean to him. And we see Daniel Logue at one point, chat, who will one day play Harvey Bullock and Batman. He's there. And, like, he's just fucking having a good time. He's just dead. People are, like, pushing him. He's like, hey, stop it, man. What are you doing? And then, chat, he feels something on his head. He's like, what the fuck was that? What's that? What's this little, they got fucking misses. Is this, like, alcohol? Is this ecstasy they're putting into the room? But no, chat, looks at his hand. He sees, oh, it's a little couple of blood droplets. He's going, what the fuck? And first of all, never do this. He just goes, don't lick it, you moron. You know what that is. That could be asbestos. That could be lead paint. You could be dead in a couple of... He's like, that's blood. And then he looks up and he sees more drops coming down. They're going on his head. And then they all come on. All the sprinkler system comes on. And all these people are just... they're just taking all that blood, chat. They're fucking grinding each other, grabbing each other's genitals, grabbing each other's hoo-ahs. It's going off in here, chat. And then she's like, yeah! This guy's fucking screaming. And then all the people he bumped into, they're going, they're vampire shit. It's a big reveal. It's a vampire movie. And so they're all going, yeah. And they're like, they're fucking with him. They're pushing him around. He sees the girl. He was like, we gotta get out of here. She's like, nah. She's like, oh, you're a vampire too. And he's fucking panicking, chat. And they push him to the ground. He's just like, and he just crawls, chat. And who does he see? He stops on these leather-clad black boots. And he looks all the way up. And who is it, chat? Wesley motherfucking Snipes. He's there, and all these vampires goes, holy shit, it's Blade! And chat, we get one of the best opening action scenes. Already, this is a great opening to a superhero movie, chat. They do an excellent job. We get one of the best opening action scenes to a superhero film ever, where he just, I love it, because you could tell Wesley Snipes at this point, because he becomes like a dick, apparently, later on in the Blade franchise, like, especially in the third one. He was very, very difficult to work with. But here he seemed to like be totally in love with the project, love with the character. And you can just tell he's having so much fun because he just starts getting all of his goddamn weapons out, chat. And he just fucking starts kung fu fighting, taking out his sword, chopping people in half, stabbing people, using his goddamn shotgun filled with molten hot silver, chat. Blowing all these vampires away. And like every time he like gets like a really cool kill, he like Blade occasionally does these very corny things. Like after he fucks up this one guy, he goes, yeah! It's just like there's something about that. I mean, he sells it because it's Wesley motherfucking Snipes, chat, but it's so much fun. Now the one negative caveat of this film, let's again, it's the late 90s at this point. People still were struggling with CGI. And here, chat, like when the vampires die, they turn like to ash and skeletons, and it's not a great effect. It doesn't look that great. That has not aged particularly. I'm sure like in the late 90s, that was really cool, but we look at it now, it's like, yeah, it doesn't really look all that great. And so when he kills them or stabs them with silver stake, shit, they go, and they die. But great action scene. Eventually, he kills like so many of them, chat, fucks up so many people. Now he's fighting against Daniel Logue, chat. I don't know his name in the movie. He's like Deacon Frost, like number 2. We know who Deacon Frost is. We'll find out. And fucking Daniel Logan, Blade, they're squaring up. They've met each other before. They've had many an encounter. Blade, he's been looking for Daniel Logue. He's been looking for this particular commune because it's fucked up what they're always doing. And he just starts, I mean, Daniel Logue, he tries to go up Blade, but it doesn't work out. Fucking Blade, he like throws like 2 goddamn silver stakes and pales Daniel Logue into a goddamn wall. And you think, Blade's just gonna like fucking finish him off at this point. He's gonna stab him right there. But no, Blade doesn't want to do that. He's like, no, tell your boss and I'm coming for him. And he just sets Daniel Logue on fire. He's like, ah! He just burns, chat. And it's like, oh my God. It's like, I guess he burned to death. And like Blade, he sees the guy, the poor dumb schmuck who were suckered into it. Also, the woman I think brought him there, Blade took her out too. It was like, good. She was very mean to that man. It's not his fault he's so stupid. And he's like, I'm going to help you, buddy. But before he can do that, chat, the police arrive. And Blade, he pulls a fucking Batman. He's out of there. He literally he's a bat, so it makes sense. So he pulls a Batman out of there, chat. Police come in there. They put out good old Daniel Logue, who they think is dead. Darkslayer, thank you for the 5 minutes. It's Donald Logue. Also, what am I calling him? What am I calling him? Daniel Logue? Donald Logue, whatever. What kind of name is Donald? Donald Logue. I got it now. I'm going to call him Mr. Logue. Also, he plays Quinn. Thank you, Darkslayer. Quinn. I'm going to call him Donald. That's the name. Donald Duck. I'm going to call him... goddamn, keep messing with me, chat. I'm going to call him Donald Duck now. Mr. Logue. Donald Logue, chat. And so the police, they help the big dumb guy. And they take Mr. Crispy off the wall, chat. And then, we transition to a new scene. Now we're in the middle of a hospital, chat, and we're in the morgue section. And we're introduced to Curtis. He's creepy Curtis, chat. Because he is, well, you'll find out why, creepy Curtis. And they're like, hey, we got a new body for you. He's like, well, let's take a look at him. And they reveal Donald Logue He's like, oh my God. And I'm like, yeah, man, it's pretty fucked up. And he's checking him out. It's like, there's some weird shit with this body. Let's go talk to my ex-girlfriend. I'm going to show her this shit. Now, Chad, we transition and we meet Karen. She's not talking to anyone's manager, but I'm sure she wants to right now. And she's analyzing some blood samples. She is a blood expert, apparently. That's her field of study. And Creepy Curtis, he comes up to her, he says, he sniffs her hair. It's like, don't sniff her hair. That's not appropriate right now, okay? It might be the 90s, but we frown on that. He comes in there, chat, and he's like, listen, I know that, we're not dating right now. And she goes, yeah, because you're fucking Creepy Curtis. And he's like, come on, not now. Don't beat me down at work, please. Listen, I need you to take a look at this. Like, something weird with his blood samples. She takes, like, the blood sample. Chase's like, this is all fucked up and weird. I don't know what this is. He's like, yeah. I'm like, come, I'm show you the body. He's like, are you fucking with me? I'm not fucking with you. I might be Creepy Curtis, okay? But I'm not fucking with you. She goes, fine. And so she goes over there with him. She's like, ooh, this guy is cancel Creepy Curtis. He's about to get canceled pretty fucking hard. He's going to earn that nickname about an hour and 45 minutes into the movie. We'll see him again. And so she goes in there, chat, and she's like, oh yeah, Donald Logue doesn't look too good. He looks a little weird. And he goes, yeah, right. And she's like analyzing him and shit, chat. And it's like, oh, he's got like some weird deformity with his mouth, his jaw and teeth. He's like, I was looking at that too. I just don't get it. What could be going on? And then fucking Donald Logue just pops up, Chad, Mr. Crispy, and he just grabs poor Creepy Curtis, just munching on his neck, just starts nibbling, Chad. Fucking gushing blood. A lot of blood in this movie, Chad. Again, the practical effects, the squibs, when it's not CGI blood, but when it's like practical effects squibs, it's just gushing. It's like a spray right at you. And Creepy Curtis is like, oh, he's fucking freaking out. Karen, she goes, fuck this. Karen's smart. She has the fight instinct, Chan. Her fucking instincts. Get the fuck out of there. She moves as fast as he possibly can, Chan. Okay? But fucking Donald Logue's like, fresh meat, how sweet! And he goes after her and he bites her too! No, it's just a Karen, Chan. I mean, Creepy Curtis, fine, fuck him. But not Karen! And he's snacking on her neck, but then who's fucking down the hallway? Goddamn motherfucking Wesley Snipes. He's there. And he just goes right for fucking Mr. Crispy, chat. He goes over there. And he's like, he punches him. He punches him really hard. And Mr. Crispy, he's like, they start fighting. They start wrestling the hallway, Chad. But Donald Logue's like, fuck this. Fuck you, Blade. And fucking Mr. Crispy, he just jumps out the goddamn window. And he falls like, ah, he screams shit. He goes through an ambulance where an old woman's there. And she's like, what the fuck? He goes, blah. It's a really actually scary scene, Chad. He goes, blah. And he busts out of the ambulance. He just starts running. Oh, Blade also chops his fucking arm off, too. Chops his goddamn arm off. And he get the manager. That's what she's saying. Those are her last words. Can someone get the manager? Ah! And so he takes off running. Blade's about to go after him, but then he sees Karen. He's like, oh, Karen. He goes over there, chat, and then these two cops show up, and they shoot him in the goddamn back. Like, oh, my God. Fuck, appropriate times, right? They shoot him. He turns around. Are you motherfuckers out of your goddamn minds? Great line, chat. And they just fucking take off running. We're not fighting this goddamn Terminator Wesley Snipes. Hell no. He's even scarier than Arnold Schwarzenegger. So they take off, chat, and they get back up. And he scoops up Karen. And he goes to the window, and he just chucks her out the window. And she goes, ah! And she lands, thankfully, on the other side of the street on the building where it was covered in blankets and pillows and cardboard. And so she's okay. And he sees the police coming up behind him, and he gives a little, and he fucking jumps out of that window, Chad. Then again, this effect is it's a little old, but it's not bad. It's not as bad as some of the CGI we see later in the movie. He jumps over there. Karen's like, what the fuck? And he picks her up. The cops are just fucking shooting at him. They're just blasting at him, Chad. Ooh, Dark Side thing with the 5 minutes. Fly, bitch. That's what he did. She's like, he's to her, motherfucker, I hope you have wings. And he just fucking throws her like a goddamn football, like a pigskin, Chat. So she goes flying, but everything's fine. He picks her up. She's like, ugh, she's a little freaked out. And he grabs her, Chat, and they run off into the night. They run off into the night. Meanwhile, we transition, Chat. We transition, and we're introduced to the character of Deacon Frost. But even before we get to Deacon Frost, there's this vampire council meeting. Whole bunch of vampires, pure blood vampires, Chat. We start to understand the society of vampires. Apparently, pure blood vampires are those who are born as vampires, whereas regular vampires, those are like people who are bitten. Like, they were infected. They weren't born pure. And then you have, like, another category, like zombie vampires, like, later on in the film that we see. It's like, oh, I want to be that one. That's kind of fucked up. And they're having a meeting about, like, vampire shit. And like, okay, bring in Deacon Frost. And then we get Deacon Frost. And now we're introduced to Stephen Dorff, who I'm like, what happened to Stephen Dorff? Because he is so charismatic in this movie, chat. Like, I looked him up earlier. He's still doing stuff. He's still doing TV shows. He's still appearing in films. I think a lot of it's like straight to DVD kind of stuff. And he's still pretty young. He's 46. So, chat, this movie came out in 1998. So he was like 20 or 21 years old when he filmed this movie. He's a baby. He's a little baby boy. It's crazy. Yeah, making e-cig commercials. Oh, no. Drugs. Oh, drugs. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's what happened. But he's really good in this movie, chat. Like, I wish his career had went better. You know, I mean, I'm sure he's doing okay now. He's a working actor, so I'm happy for him. He's still making movies. He's still making TV shows, so he's getting paid. He was in True Detective. That's what he was. That's the last thing I saw him. It was like True Detective. So good for him. But yeah. But he comes in there, they fucking bring him in, and you can tell he has so much charisma. He's better than all these old fuddy-duddy vampires, and they're trying to lord over, you know, their superiority over him. They're asking him about, why are you in the vampire archives? What you looking up about this vampire blood god and whatnot? And he's not saying nothing. He's not saying nothing. They're like, oh, well, whatever. We got another new follower, Chad. Spawn Blaze, thank you for the follow. You might Huckleberry, welcome to stream. Just talking about Blade right now, and they're telling him, hey, listen, fucking Blade, he attacked one of your rave parties, one of your venues. Listen, these big communes that you're having right here, they're causing too much trouble. You're exposing us to the public. Because that's the thing about Vampire Society, chat. They want to keep things. They want people to know about them. Like, they control the police force, they control the population, the politicians, the government, and things. But they want to keep things in the dark. They don't want the general public to know about them. And with the stuff that you're doing right now, fucking Deacon Frost is putting us in danger. And Deacon's like, listen. We are the fucking apex predator of this world. Why should we hide from these people? We're hiding from our fucking food. They're our livestock. And the leader of the vampires, I guess, we're going to call him Mr. Fancy Pants, chat, because I don't know his name, but Mr. Fancy Pants is like, you got to fucking stop it. And there's a weird, I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but there's a weird sexual tension between Deacon Frost and Mr. Fancy Pants. I want to know if you guys saw this, because they get very close at one point during this conversation, and like very intimate, like this. I don't know if it's an intimidation tactic, but they're so close. And like Mr. Fancy Pants says, I don't have any time for you right now. And then Deacon goes, harumph, and he leaves. But there's another scene later on, chat, where you'll know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Darkslayer, think of the 5 biddies. So the vampires are rich people, and that's right. Yeah, of course, man, of course. They're the elite. Iron Laser, welcome, Steve. Thank you for the host. You want to keep up the masquerade. Yep, you nailed it, man. It's the masquerade, chat. Okay, I know I might be reading into it, but I think there's some sexual tension. Okay, I'm going to transition to that scene. So, there's another scene where Mr. Fancy Pants goes to one of the vampire library, chat, where they keep all the knowledge of the vampires in the world and their technology, you know, everyone who they have control over. And Mr. Fancy Pants sees Deacon Frost, like, analyzing all these, basically the vampire Bible. And because he's trying to conduct this weird vampire ceremony where it would make him a god, right? And then there's a scene when and then that scene is like, why are you doing this? And Deacon Frost gets very close to him. I don't know if it's an intimidation tactic, but they both touch each other's faces like this, like the lips and everything. And I'm like, what's going on between these two? I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much. I mean, he could have been the one that turned Deacon. That's true, Darkslayer. That could also be it. Maybe that's why it's that they have a very closeness. But I just thought that was kind of odd. I was like, is there like a attraction between these two, or like a lover's quarrel kind of situation going on here, like spurned lovers? I might be reading too much into it, chat. That's what I remember. Haven't seen the movie in a while, so I don't know, I suppose. I don't know. But anyway, chat. I mean, that scene comes later in the movie. But, excuse me. So after the initial Deacon Frost scene, we cut to the lair of Blade, chat. Where Karen, she is not looking too good. Of course, she was bit. She's got the vampire venom inside of her, and that's not a good situation. And Blade, he brings her, and then we're introduced to the character of Whistler, chat, and he is an older man, an old vampire hunter, and he's telling Blade, he's like, why'd you bring her here? Why'd you bring Karen here? He's like, I don't know. He's like, we need it for the plot. And he's like, fine. He's like, you know, he should have just shot her and put out of her misery. He's like, you got to give her the cocktail. He's like, I'll give her the cocktail. So, chat, there's like a 50-50 chance, like, of this little cocktail drug thing, it's like garlic and shit, they inject it into you, you might not turn to a vampire. Or, it will delay the vampire venom from taking hold of you for like several days or something like that. And so they inject her, and Whistler says, all right, she's your responsibility. You watch over her. If she fucking turns, put one in her dome. And Blade is like, I'll do it, Whistler. And he fucking holds her hand, holds her down the entire time. So for some reason he cares, chat. Maybe it's because Blade sees his mother in this woman. Maybe that might be it. But later, we transition, chat, to the next scene. Karen, she's waking up. She goes, she wakes up in Blade's bed, chat. She's like, what's going on? She's looking at all his stuff, chat. Looking at his cool, like, I guess he's like a Buddhist or something. She finds a little shrine. She finds all of his fucking weapons, this really cool looking sword. He's like, whoa. She touches the sword. She goes, I'm going to hold the sword. And it's like a little, she knows like a little spinning time. It's like, what the hell is that? It goes, bah! And it has like knives in it. So, chat, anytime someone picks up the sword, knives will split out and they'll like chop off their fucking hand. It'll explode their hand with knives. Like, oh, don't want to do that. And then eventually she goes out and she sees Blade and Whistler. And they're like, what are you doing? She runs off. She's like, no, stop her. And Blade stops her. And then they explain the situation. It's like, hi, we're vampire hunters, okay? Vampires are real. She's like, are you fucking serious? Yeah. Yeah, you got bit by one. Looks like, well, I mean, let's check your wound. They check her wound and they say, didn't take effect. Didn't take effect. Sorry. That wound is still fresh. Should have been scabbing by now. It's not scabbing, so you got like a couple days until you turn to a vampire. She goes, shit! He's like, yeah, sorry. I mean, you can have this gun so you can, protect yourself or put one in your fucking dome. Blade's a little more sensitive. Whistler's like, he's very about it because he's been doing this for decades upon decades upon decades. We find out more about his past later on, about why he is the way he is, chat, so that's why he's kind of so numb to this whole situation. But Blade, for whatever reason, he's like, I'm going to help you. And let me go. Listen, I'm gonna drive you home. Your life is over, by the way. Like, you can't go back to work. You gotta contact all your family. Tell them that you're just getting out of there. That's it. It's over. Matter of fact, don't contact your people because they're gonna be watching. She's like, who's watching? It's the vampires. They're everywhere. They control all aspects of society. They control the police force. They control the politicians. They control the government. You gotta get out of here. And so he takes her back to her place. Drops her off. She's like, are you just gonna leave me here? He's like, yep. And he drives away. He drives away. Euro Trash Dracula from Blade 3. Oh, he sucks. Like, having Dracula in a Blade movie is cool, but man, Dracula sucks in that third film. Really, really bad. That movie in general is terrible. Take this gun. You can shoot some shit before you kill yourself. That's really what it is. That is the line. It's a pretty goddamn good line, Darkslayer. And so Blade warns her, though, it's like, listen, don't trust anyone. Like, they control everything, okay? You never know. You've probably seen some vampires out there, and you wouldn't even realize it, or some of their acolytes, okay? Be careful. And so he drives off, chat. And also, throughout when he drives her home, he's looking at her the entire time to see if the sunlight affects her, and it doesn't. But he's like, well, let me see. Yeah, I gotta kill her. I gotta stab her. Not yet. So it's whatever the anti-venom is working for now for the delayed couple of days. Save her a couple of days, chat. So she goes into her apartment, chat, and she goes up the elevator. She notices there's other weird people who are also right by her. She gets in the elevator and she's right there, and she notices on the back of their necks they have this symbol, this specific symbol. Like the two of them. It's like, what the fuck is that about? And she steps out of the elevator and they step out with her. And when she looks behind her, the guy goes, hey, totally creepy way. That wasn't very nonchalant. And they're following her, chat. She's about to turn around. Oh, that's the thing. I think Whistler gave her some fucking garlic juice. Gave him the juice. And she turns around and goes, juice. But they're gone, chat. They vanished. They pulled a Batman. She goes, that was weird. Then she goes in her apartment, chat. She starts packing all this shit. She's like, I gotta skedaddle. I gotta get the fuck out of here. But then, chat, she hears something. She's like, what's that? And a policeman shows up. He's like, hey, how you doing? She goes, ah! And she just tries to get out of there. He's like, don't worry, don't listen. I'm just here to check on you. We heard that you were, your office contacted us. They said you were kidnapped. There was a homicide. And she goes, what happened to Creepy Curtis? He said, oh, Creepy Curtis died. He's dead. He's been dead for a while. She goes, no, not Creepy Curtis. He's like, yeah, Creepy Curtis is dead. Or is he? We'll find out. Me, welcome to Stupid Thing with 100 Biddies. I appreciate that. How are you doing tonight? Just in the middle of my Blade review. Having a lot of fun so far. Creepy Curtis is dead. Or maybe not. Maybe he's okay. It's not okay. So chat, and she's like, well, okay, well, what do you need from me? And and she goes, listen, just come with us. You don't need to contact your family. He's like, why do I need to contact my family? I gotta tell them what to say. And this guy's like, you don't need to contact them because you're gonna die too, bitch. And he takes out his gun. She goes, ah! And she screams and she squirts him with the vampire rage. And he goes, ah! But he's like, what the fuck was that? She's just, yeah, it's fucking garlic juice, you idiot. He's like, but I'm not a vampire. And then Blade appears. He's like, ah! He's like, hello, motherfucker. And he starts wailing on. He just starts beating the shit out of this guy. I mean, repeatedly. He's throwing around the room chat, smashing his face. This guy should be dead or, like, really derpy by the end of this fight. But he doesn't put up a good fight, but he survives it, chat. And she's like, why didn't it work on him? I thought he's a vampire. He's like, he's not a fucking vampire. No, these are their acolytes. These schmucks want to become vampires. They work for these vampires in the hopes of becoming one someday. Now, this guy is just fucking livestock. And he's like beating him up and shit. And he's like, okay, we're going to take him downstairs. We're going to take him back to base. I'm going to interrogate him. And Karen's very mad. It's like, wait a minute. Did you use me as bait so they come after me? And Blade goes, yeah, I've been looking for fucking Deacon Frost guy for a while. That's his symbol on this man's ass. So he takes him down there, chat. And he goes to his cop car, It's like, let's see what you got in the back, officer. Opens that shit up, chat. Fucking containers of blood. Guy's running a blood bank operation. He's like, you're a blood runner. Where are you taking this, officer? Guy's like, I can't tell you. He's like, you're going to tell me. I'm going to start breaking fingers. Not even breaking fingers, chopping fingers off. And he's about to take out his big old sword, chat. Dog shit thing with the 5 minis. They're vampire. That's what they are. They're very much vampire fanboys. You nailed it, man. That's exactly what they are. And he's about to chop out fingers, chap, and then Karen says, no, not his fingers. And Blade gets distracted. He runs off. He's like, God damn it, woman. I had to get him so we can get Deacon Frost. He's like, he's so sensitive. And he's like, come with me. And so they go back to the car. Now we gotta wait. And they're waiting in the car, chat, and she's going like, wait, you think he's gonna be that dumb to actually show up again and go to his car? He goes, yeah. And then like several hours later, chat, fucking Ding Don Doofus, he shows back up, goes to his car. He's like, see, look at that dumb motherfucker. And then they follow him, chat. And they're following him at this point. And then meanwhile, we cut to like another scene where the sexual tension scene between Mr. Fancy Pants and Deacon Frost. That's their chat. Deacon Frost is analyzing some ancient text from the Vampire Bible and things. He's trying to figure something out, Chase. He's trying to reenact a ceremony to become a blood god, a vampire blood god. But we don't really know that yet. And so after all that shit, they follow the Ding Don Doofus. He goes to another vampire club. He's showing Karen. He's like, look at that. Yep, vampire club. You can always tell by their symbology in key places. And he says, all those guys are vampires. That guy's a vampire. She's a vampire. But he's not. He's just a little sweaty schlub. And so he gets out. He just starts loading up. She's got his gun. Like, broad fucking daylight, too. I can understand why Karen stopped him from killing the cop in broad daylight. Because he is decked out in all leather. He has fucking shotguns, Uzis, a samurai. So he's about to start cutting this cop's fingers off in broad daylight. That might cause a negative reaction. People might be like, wait, what the fuck's going on over here? So maybe it was good to be a little more subtle in this case. But now Blade's like, fuck that, subtlety's over now. And Blade and Karen, that's the thing too. Because I think they go back to, did they go back to Whistler at this point? Yes, they do. I think they go back to Whistler, Chad, at some point. And you're like, yeah, we're going to go back to his car or whatever. And Whistler's like, oh, shit. Oh, you go ahead and take all these weapons, load up. Oh, that's the thing too. Blade also is getting these like little cocktails of like garlic juice and shit, and they're injecting them into his neck and tum-tum. And this prevents him from acting out on his vampiristic instincts, chat, from drinking blood. And that's the thing about Blade. Like, he's not just a vampire. He's a damn fear, chat. He's half human, half vampire. Has all the strengths, none of the weaknesses, but he has some weaknesses as a human, too. He ages. And he still has the thirst of a vampire. We don't know that yet, though. It hasn't been exposed yet. And then fucking Whistler, he gives her the big old LED light. Because vampires, they hate LED light, chat. It burns them. And so they go over to the club, chat, and fucking Blade, he just starts blasting fools all out of the goddamn club, killing these people, until he gets to the back room. He finds the police officer, he's not really a police officer, chat, but he starts fucking him up again. He's like, okay, where did you go? Where'd you drop off the blood? He's like, I can't tell you, Blade, I'm sorry. Punch, punch, punch. Okay, I'll tell you. And then he's like, it's in the fridge. Punch, punch. It's in the fridge. Punch. Okay. And he goes in the fridge. Opens up. Oh, it leads to the archive, the library chat that we saw before. This is where they kept this is where Deacon Frost and Mr. Fancy Pants were. And they're like, what the fuck is this? And Blade's like, I don't know. It looks like a library. It's where they keep all their vampiric knowledge, where we keep all their connections to politicians, the police force, and the government. And they go deeper into it, chat. And they smell something. They smell something foul. It's like, what is it? They hear like a little fart, chat. And they go over there and they see this just morbidly fucking obese. This morbidly obese vampire, chat, named Pearl. And it's disgusting. Now, this is the CGI effect that it's practical effects that CGI assisted. And I think that's why this effect holds up so well. But it's just, I mean, it's like a 1,000-pound vampire woman, man, I don't know. Vampire. And it's just sitting there, and it goes, hey, babe, no, and he's just farting constantly. It's like, and like he's looking at a lot of shit, chat. He's seeing all this shit. He's like, what's all this? What's on this computer? All these weird fucking hieroglyphics. And Pearl's like, I don't know. It's nothing. It's a video game. And he signals to Karen, and she shines the LED on Pearl. Pearl goes, he starts burning. Ooh, that giant blob just, it's like bacon. It's like bacon crackling a pan shit. It smells so good. But it's also mixed with farts, so it doesn't smell good. So it's like it's a mixed bag. And so she's burning him. He's like, it's a fucking vampire temple outside New York City. And he's like, temple, like, what does it do? He's like, I don't know. It's a speculation. It burns again, check the LED. You're burning him. And, he's like, it's for the fucking blood god ritual. You got to use the blood god ritual. And that's what Deacon Frost wants to do, wants to become a blood god. And he's like, that's fucked up. He also notices like a giant room, like that's secure, like a big old vault. And, it touch the thing with the vibe. Vampire blob. Indeed. And I'm going to go over there. Points to Karen, if that fucking vampire blob moves, torch him, burn him. And he goes over there and he starts putting plastique around the door so it blows up. And Pearl's like, you can't go in there. And Karen's like, fuck this. And she turns the LED, just get, extra crispy, Chad, just completely burned black. You can like peel that shit off. It's like, ugh. And I think Pearl survives, but Pearl's not looking too good after that. Even Blade comes over, he's like, that's a little too much. He's like, what? She moved? Like, fucking Pearl moved. He's like, all right, fair enough. They blow open the door, Chad, and they find all the material that's been being downloaded. They find all the shit. Also, we then transition to Deacon Frost's loft where this is all going on. And the cop, he's talking to Deacon Frost. He's like, I'm sorry, Deacon Frost, I fucked up. He's like, yes, you did. Fucking ding-dong doofus, yes you did. I'm gonna call him Brett, chat. We're gonna call him Brett in this. Yes you did, Brett, yes you did. He starts nibbling on poor old Brett's neck. Doesn't turn into a vampire, chat. He just sucks all that blood out. He fucking falls. Him and one of his women, chat, they just start making out and like they start like exchanging blood that they just drained from poor old Brett. It's like gross. It's like ew. But he falls in there. And then he contacts Blade, because Blade's in there too, and they have a brief conversation. She's like, I'm coming for you, motherfucker. He's like, I don't care about Pearl. I don't need Pearl anymore. It's all fucked up anyway. I got what I want, Blade. See you around. And Blade punches the fucking computer screen. Deacon Frost is like, shit, things are not going my way. I gotta, fucking fast forward my timetable here. Blade has caught my scent. And then he says, fucking Donald Lowe looking, better. His arm grew back, was a little fucked up, and he's not as crispy as before. Go over to Pearl's place and fuck up Blade. And he's like, yes, sir. And fucking, now we transition back to Blade and Karen, and they go on to this another room, chat, and they find all these ancient vampire scrolls. And apparently, as Blade is saying, like, these are the actual pages of the La Maga, whatever the hell it's called. I'm going to call it the La Maga, chat. She goes, what's the La Maga? And it's the Vampire Bible. This is where they wrote down all their legends and stories, their history as a people. And like, I'm going to burn this shit. I give a shit less about their history. But chat, before he can even burn it, he sees something. He sees someone moving between all the fucking glass exhibits. He's like, what's that? And he finds this little girl. He's like, I'm here to help you. But don't fall for her, Blade. He turns around. There's Donald Logue. And he punches him. And then the little girl, he turns around. She punches and kicks the shit out of Blade. Like, kicks his goddamn ass, chat. Until he's incapacitated. Donald Logue, he grabs Karen, hold her hostage. And Donald Logue's like, I've been waiting to do this for a long time, Blade. Like, I fucking grew another arm to do this. He takes one of Blade's, like, little silver stakes. And he jabs one in Blade. He's like, ooh, it hurts really bad. He doesn't like that, chat. He's about to grab another one. And also, one of the fucking Donald Logue's, henchmen, he grabs Blade's sword. Now we get the scene. She's like, I got Blade's sword. I'm so excited about it. And it fucking goes off and his hand just fucking explodes because the knife's all cut to shreds. And the guy's like actually pretty happy about it. He's like, Everyone's like, everyone's like shaking their tongue. Like the actors got really into this. That's fucking dedication, chat. When my hand explodes, it's like it's orgasmic for them. It's like, what the fuck is going on? And Darlogue, he's just about to, because Blade, like, he hits, like, a fucking device. No, it isn't a device. And Darlogue's just about to stab him. Just about to stab him with another stake. He's like, you might not want to do that. He's like, why? And Blade turns his head, and he sees a little device. It's a little earpiece. He's because I got fucking backup. And boom! There's a big old explosion, chat. And who walks out? It's goddamn Whistler. And he's like, I'm getting too old for this shit. And he double barrel shotgun shot. Like, no, two, like, auto shotguns. Boom, boom, boom. He just lays into all these guys. He just starts shooting the shit out of them. Like, fucking silver bullets and everything. They're all dying. Don looks like, fuck this. He takes off. Whistler, he grabs Blade, he grabs Karen. He's like, I can get you two the fuck out. Like, Whistler's an old man. He's like 75 years old. His fucking leg is in a contraption, chat. It's like in a metal contraption because he can't walk anymore, but he's doing his best. And he gets them both out of there. They end up in like a tunnel, a subway tunnel. And he's like, this is this crazy shit, man. And then but Donald Logues is going to show up there too. He's about to come after them, but fucking Blade's like, oh, don't worry, I got fucking more backup. Because he has bombs, Chen. He explodes the bombs, takes out a whole bunch of more vampire henchmen, and fucking, I guess the explosion, or no, Donald Logue shows up, and he kind of punches Whistler, and Whistler almost gets run over by the subway, but then he disappears. Like, what happened to Whistler? We don't know, chat. He just disappeared. And Blade's like, we gotta get over to the other side. They're gonna keep fucking us up. And they jump over the other side of the subway, chat. And right when a subway car is just about to hit him, Donald Logue, he jumps too. These two vampires also jump there, chat, but they get fucking they get smushed. They're like fucking flies in a goddamn weed show. They are smushed. They've left their mortal coil behind. And now Blade, he gets into another battle with Donald Logue, and it does not go well, chat. Donald Logue loses another arm, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna fucking just, take my losses and skedaddle. He gets out of there, chat, but more vampires show up. One of the Deacon Frost, his main honey, she's leading them, and I was like, we're gonna take you out, Blade. And Blade, he does a really cool baller move here, chat. He's like, fuck physics, I'm Wesley goddamn Snipes. And he sees another subway car coming, chat. He grabs the end of the subway car and going as fast as it's going, which is like 70 goddamn miles per hour, grabs it, fucking takes it. I mean, basically rips his arm out of his socket, like on the inside. And the only thing that's holding it together, chat, is his skin. Takes it, throws Karen in there, throws himself in there, and they got away. But he just starts screaming because all of his insides of his arm was just pulled out. And she's like, are you okay? He's like, no, I'm not fucking okay. My arm is fucked up. And she puts it back in as best she can. He's like, thank you. I got to inject myself with this shit. And he starts injecting himself with the garlic juice, chat. And she's like, you're one of them, aren't you? He's like, I'm not one of them. I'm something different. I'm not human. And then, chat, we come back to the home base. Where Blade, he's recovering from the adventures, chat. He got really fucked up, and Karen's like, I want to know, like, what's Blade? Who's Blade? And Whistler is going into it. Like, he's telling the history of their relationship and himself. We find out, like, she asked Whistler first, like, how long have you been hunting them? And he's like, decades. My family. It was like about 50 years ago. I had a wife, 2 daughters. This drifter came into town. Tortured us, captured us, offered him shelter, offered him some food, and he spent the next several days torturing us and torturing me and making me choose which of my family members that he would kill next. And that's what he did. It's like, I've been hunting them ever goddamn since. Whistler Belmont. That's a guy. Whistler Belmont. Is his name actual Belmont? That would be amazing if it is. And she goes, what's the story with him? And he's like, Blade's a half human, half vampire. Mom was bitten by a vampire when she was pregnant. I don't know how he knows this. He just knows it, chat. I'm not sure how. It's like a convenience, I guess. But he explains, Mom was bitten while she was pregnant. She died in childbirth, but he was born. He went through orphanages. I found him years later when he was about 12 years old. He was feeding on homeless people. He was murdering homeless people. And I just took him for another vamp, but I realized that he could survive sunlight, so he was something different. And I've been raising him ever since. And we've been fighting these vampires for the past, I don't know, probably close to 25 years, I want to say, chat. Well, these types look like he's in his 30s at this point. And, she's like, Jesus Christ. That's fucked up. He goes, yeah, it's pretty fucked up. You know, I mean, you're gonna turn into a vampire too, so we gotta hunt you, you know. And then she goes to check in on Blade, and she's like, how you doing? He's like, I'm not doing okay. I'm mad. And she's like, well, Whistler told me everything about you, and, you know, he's like, it doesn't matter. I am what I am. I'm a monster. She's like, you're not a monster. You're Wesley Snipes. You're cool. He's like, thank you. No, I appreciate it. I needed that, Karen. I need a little pick-me-up so I can continue the battle of Deacon Frost. And she goes out there because some transition happens next day. We see that she's brought all this hospital. I don't know how she got access to her old job. Everyone thinks she's fucking dead. But she gets access to all this equipment, chat. She brings it back. She's like, I'm going to make a vampire cure. And they're like, good fucking luck. Go ahead and start trying to make that vampire cure. And she experiences some shit, chat, and she makes one thing where it explodes vampires. I guess it's like a infusion of the garlic bomb or like something else that deals with, it's like for blood disease. But if you stab a vampire, they fucking explode when they get injected with this stuff. It's crazy. And it looks very, very painful. And I'm like, that's definitely not a cure. She's like, I'm working on the cure, don't worry. And she eventually makes a cure, chat. So lo and behold, she makes a cure. Whistler's like, ah, shit, well, could have used you earlier. Could have saved me 50 goddamn years. She's like, yeah, well, he didn't have me. I'm the brains of the operation now, Whistler. That's what I am. And then Blade, I think Blade, he gets contacted by Deacon Frost, chat. Because Deacon Frost is like, I want to have a get-together, Blade. Let's have a parlay. He goes, sure. And meanwhile, chat, Deacon Frost goes, okay, fuck the vampire console. He takes Mr. Fancy Pants Man. He starts monologuing a whole bunch. Takes him out to, like, the Hudson River, chat, Hudson Bay. Sets him up, like, fucking Deacon Frost, like, puts all the sunscreen on himself. And he's protected from the sun, chat. He's totally fine. Just wear this fucking sunscreen. Why do you become a vampire guy? What is this? I'm taking your job, old man. She pretty much does that. You're not a monster, Wesley Snipes. That's what she says. But Mr. Fancy Pants, he's starting to crisp up because the sun's coming up. And Deacon Frost is like, I'm now leader of the vampire council. And he goes, you're nothing but a filthy half-breed. And they kiss, chat. They smooch. I knew there was sexual tension. He gives one last long smooch to Mr. Fancy Pants, and he rips his vampire teeth out, chat. He rips them out, and he burns to death. And then the next scene, they got the vampire council. Like, okay, what's on today's schedule? And Deacon Frost, he's a big dick Deacon Frost. He just walks in their chair, is like, this is on the schedule. And he just, he throws the teeth down there like a pair of die. He's like, now you all work for me. And I'm going to become a blood god, by the way. I need some volunteers for this ceremony. And everyone goes, what? But then we cut to the next day, I guess. And fucking Wesley Snipes is going to meet Deacon Frost, and he sees him in a park. He's like, there you are, motherfucker. He goes over there, chat, but Deacon Frost, he also has another person. And it's like broad daylight. So Wesley Snipes is very confused because it's broad daylight. How are you out here? And Deacon Frost has this, like, little Asian girl. And this poor little girl with him. And Wesley Snipes is just like, let her go. Like, what are you doing? How are you outside? He's like, I got a little suntan lotion on, Blade, for the first time ever. So I'm just as good as you. You're not as good as me, Deacon Frost. You're not as good as me. You know what? I'm not as good as you. No. You are an incredible specimen, Wesley Snipes. You have all of our powers and none of our weaknesses. That is good. You are the future, man. I want to become a fucking god so I can become better than you. Because here's the thing, Wesley. We are better than all these mud people out here, okay? They are fucking food to us. They're fucking livestock. Like this little greasy, this little good. Fucking grows a nail. It looks like, oh, like CGI nail. Like, I'll cut her goddamn throat with my fingernail, man. Like, they're nothing to me. You know, you're always trying to save them. And Blade's like, maybe they're nothing to me, too. And he's like, nah, you're full of shit. And fucking Blade goes, fuck you. Oh, no, I guess that's the thing that gets him. Because Deacon Frost somehow knows how to push Blade's buttons. And he's like, nah, man, Blade, you're nothing. You're nothing. Just like when you came out of your mother's belly and she died. And don't talk about my mom. And he fucking freaks out. He pulls out his gun and goes, bang, bang, bang. And he shoots at Deacon Frost. Cool little CGI bullet dodge. Before the Matrix, chat. It was before the Matrix. Blade takes full credit for the bullet dodge. And then we get one of the absolute funniest scenes in the movie, chat. Because Deacon Frost dodges the bullets, takes the girl, and he just fucking chucks her. She goes, and she just goes right. I mean, look, she'd be dead. She's definitely dead. She goes through a concession stand, chat. Like a fucking hot dog concession. She goes, like, right through that, like, not stopping, collapses in the middle of the street. Like, she would be dead. She'd be dead. What'd you say about my mama? And Blade's like, no, little girl. Deacon Frost, he takes off because he's coward. He's a little cowardly man. And fucking Blade, he goes out there and he grabs the little girl. And not a scratch on her. He yeets her. He absolutely yeets her. Yeet. It's fucking dumb. Thank you for the 5 days, Dark Slayer. Girls and women being thrown everywhere. Yeah, it's happened in this movie, man. No one gives a shit. I remember this. Just watch this scene, Chen, on YouTube. It's ridiculous. I don't know if they wanted to make it unintentionally funny, but he came off unintentionally funny. So he fucking chucks this girl. Blade goes after, he saves her, but Deacon Frost goes away. Blade says, go home, little girl. And she's like, ah! She's just fucking probably concussed and derpy now from this experience. Maybe take her to a hospital, Blade. Maybe call her parents. But no, just fucking run home. Maybe she didn't even get home. We know what happened to the little girl. Meanwhile, we cut back to Karen and Whistler, and Karen goes, I just made a cure for vampirism. Hell yeah. Whistler's like, really? He's like, yup. Just, but it'll only work on people who have been turned into vampires, not pure blood vampires. And Whistler's like, shit, we'll work on Blade. And she's like, well, he's half vampire, so maybe he's a damn after all. And then, chat, after all this nice little conversation, Whistler spots something. Well, there's someone here. There's multiple people. He's like, oh shit, vampires are here, Chad. The vampires, they found the compound somehow. Oh, the Buddhacast, thank you so much. Gifting a subscription to Andy Mauga, the Buddhacast, thank you. And welcome to the stream. How you doing tonight, my friend? Good to see you. Oh, man. Well, I gotta watch this movie anytime. I remember that part. Oh, it's such a good part, man. It's so... Blade's a great movie. Watch it anytime. Cheap on Amazon. It's like $3 on Amazon if you want to watch it that way. I'm not sure if it's on another streaming service, but that's how I watched it. And so Whistler's like, get out of here, girl, get out of here. So Karen, she takes off, and Whistler, he just fucking cocking all these shotgun shit and blasting. He's just out there blasting. He kills a few vampires, chat, but he gets overwhelmed because fucking Deacon Frost is there, Donald Logue is there, and they take advantage of Whistler. And fucking Deacon Frost is like, I'm not playing around with him. He just starts beating the shit out of Whistler, Chad, just fucking breaking his leg. His leg's already fucked up. It's already derpy already. Right? He's just breaking it, punch him in the face, and fucking Whistler's just fucking do it, just bite me. He's like, I'm not gonna bite you, motherfucker. And he just continues to beat him, Chad. You're not worth my time to bite. Okay? I want to hurt you. Are we getting raided? Are we getting raided right now? What? Are we getting raided? Oh my god, I gotta activate my raid. My raid alert's not working still. I'm gonna activate my raid alert. Hold on. I want to make sure this raid is actually working, chat. I'm sorry. Witness! Witness me! Who is this raiding me? Who is this new person? Oh my god, Casey Hughes! Thank you so much for the raid! 32 people. No, welcome everyone. For whatever reason, Casey, my raid alert has been on the fritz. It's been on the fritz for like the past couple days. I have no idea what's going on with it. But Casey Hughes, thank you so much. Or Cassie Hughes. Cassie, I'm sorry. Cassie. Cassie Hughes. I'm sorry. I say things differently than other people. Cassie Hughes. Every time Henshin tells him, oh, I'm sorry. Cassie Hughes. I apologize. Oh, I fucked up. What are her names? What are her names, Chad? Now, let me put respect on that name. Cassie Hughes. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome to the stream. My name, for those who didn't know, my name is Mr. Revan7. Nothing but shenanigans. I'm a variety streamer. Currently reviewing some stuff right now. Reviewing Blade. Reviewing the 1998 Wesley Snipes classic Blade, chat. How they going to come and call me? I'm sorry. I gotta check out your content, Cassie. Let me give you a little follow right now. If I'm not following you, I'm gonna follow you right now, so I can check out your content. I can get your name inside my head. But I apologize. I followed you right now. Okay, I'm gonna check you out. I'm so sorry. Hootie Booty? Oh, Hootie Booty, that's cool. No, but welcome to the stream, guys, seriously. Blade, it's a great movie. Just a movie review. Fucking Deacon Frost just fucking yeeted this little girl into a hot dog stand. She's okay, though. She's a little derpy, but she's okay. Fucking Whistler's getting the shit kicked out of him by Deacon Frost. Matter of fact, he's going to let Donald Logue. Like, Donald Logue, do your thing. And apparently Donald Logue's thing is to just start nibbling. He nibbles on poor old Whistler. And Blade, he comes back, Chad. Blade comes back. And he's like, oh, there's dead vampires everywhere. There's dead people. There's acolytes of vampires who are humans. And he's like, what's going on? And Chad, he sees a body covered in a bloodied sheet. And he's like, fuck. And he takes the bloodied sheet, Chad, he pulls it off, and it's Whistler, and he's fucked up. He's really fucked up. And he sees that he's been bitten. He's like, damn. And then Whistler goes, he's like, you're alive. He's like, oh, I'm not alive for long, Blade. And he's like, Blade, you gotta get him. You gotta kill him. You gotta save the world. He's gonna become a blood god. You see this? Like a vampire blood god. The plot thickens. He's like, I'm gonna stop him, Whistler. I'm gonna help you. He's like, you're not helping me, man. You're not helping me, kid. It's like, just put me out of my misery. He's like, I can't do that. You're my dad. You're my old white daddy. He's like, yeah, I know. But you gotta do it. And he's like, if you can't do it, then give me your gun. Wesley Snipes gives him a gun, Chad. He's like, don't, now look away. Look away! And he looks away, Chad, and he keeps running. Now he's fucking dedicated. Now he knows what he needs to do, Chad. Now he knows. And so he goes out there, he walks, and boom, you hear the headshot, Chad. And Whistler is dead. Old white daddy is dead, except he's not, spoiler, because he comes back in the next movie. You killed him and he comes back. That's not fair. That's not Earth. That's what Blade 2 didn't make me happy, chat. They completely right. What? Ingenuity. With the 5 gifted subs. Thank you, Ingenuity. Congratulations. The Dole Uska. Trisha, I'm not good with names. Trisha, Excalibur, Fate vs. Destin, and Tarius. Congratulations, guys. You are the proud owners of 5 units along with ad-free viewing. And, of course, this wonderful a review of Blade. And so, Blade, he's very mad that his old white daddy just died, Chad. As would I, as I think any of us would be mad. Whistler's a cool character. But no, seriously, thank you so much for the support, guys. This is amazing. Was he in Trinity? He's in Trinity for like a hot second. He comes back as like an actor. I think the actor died. I don't know. But he comes back for like 5 minutes or something. Fun fact, Bruce Lee's daughter's in this. Does she play the vampire that explodes in this upcoming scene? I think I might know what it is. Ooh, we gotta do some cartoon pose after this. And Miguel, I cooked a 4-cheese ravioli with plant-based meatballs, sausage, and chicken egg. Nice, man. That sounds delish. Darks, I think, with the 5 biddies. No, Chris Christopherson is still alive. Oh, that's good, man. He is fucking old. They did this movie in 1998. It's 22 years later. How old does he look? Wow. Believe. Yes, we just had a raid from Cassie Hughes. Not Casey. Cassie Hughes. I had to correct myself. I need to be corrected. No, it's been a fantastic stream tonight, Glee. It's been so great. Again, thank you for your generosity and ingenuity. We'll do some cartoon polls after this review, guys. I think at this point, Blade, he meets up with Karen. Somehow him and Karen are together again. I don't know. Or no, Deacon Frost kidnaps Karen, and they bring her back to his domicile, chat, his evil lair, which is just a fucking penthouse in New York. Ooh! Iconoclast, thank you for the follow. Welcome to stream. You're my new Huckleberry. Hope you're doing very well tonight. We're now in the lair of Deacon Frost, chat. And Karen's just talking shit the entire time. She basically says, vampirism, it's basically an STD. Did Mr. Fancy Pants bite you on your goddamn dick? And that just sets fucking Deacon Frost like, no, we are not a disease. We are better than you. We're apex predators. I'm going to become a god, god damn it. And he's very mad now, chat. And now we get Blade. Blade, he's fucking loading up on all of his weapons, Chad. He got shotguns, he's got pistols, he's got assault rifles, he's got samurai swords, he got silver stakes, and he has the fucking injector juice. He's got the exploding injector juice, and he fucking goes to Deacon Frost's place, Chad, and he just starts laying into all these people. He just starts blasting everybody, anyone gets in his way, until he finally gets up to the penthouse region. But the thing is, Deacon Frost says, don't kill Blade, we need him for the ritual. It's very important that we have him for the ritual. He's a damn fear, and that's very rare in our species, and we need that to perform it so I can become a blood god. And they're like, okay, cool. Now Blade's fucking all these people up. Eventually, we get to like the main hallway of his place, and Blade, he's fighting these 2 samurai people, and he just injects them with the exploding juice, and oh my god, it's fucked. I mean, the CGI doesn't look that great anymore, chat, but like, ew. Like, what happens is gross. Fucking stabs the one person in the eye, other one like in their chest or something, and they slowly just inflate and become swollen, and they just like, and they become like tomato red and just fucking explode. And it's like, I wish this was a practical effect instead of CGI, but it's still kind of like, ugh, that is a bad death. That's a bad way to go. They just fucking pop Chad like a hot water balloon. And Blade, he continues to go in there, Chad. He's stabbing everybody, and he lays waste to the place. And then he goes into the room of Deacon Frost. He sees all the files. He's like, no, he's trying to become a blood god. And then Chad, the fucking Deacon Frost bed, which is like his giant coffin, it just lifts up. And then who's there? It's this woman. And oh my God, big fucking reveal. It's Blade's mom. It's Blade's mom, Chad. She goes, Eric, because Blade's name is Eric. You would not expect his name. No offense against the name Eric, but I would not expect Blade's name to be Eric, Chad. She goes, Eric. He goes, Mama. And they're like, oh, Mama, I thought you died. I thought you died. And she's like, no, I've been alive this entire time. I died, but I was reborn, Eric. And they kind of like, Blade doesn't really know what to do. And okay, again, chat, weird sexual stuff here. She seems to be very intimate with Blade here. Like, it's not like in a motherly way either. It's like in a sexual way. And there's also another scene in the movie where it's very sexual. We'll get to that, chat. I'm like, wait a minute. I want to hear you guys' thoughts on this because it's very odd. But that fucking distracts him enough, chat. It's like, man, this is fucking weird. And then, so he gets booped in the back of the head. He gets booped real good. And there's fucking Deacon Frost. Deacon Frost is like, oh, look at this. You met your mom. By the way, Blade, you've always been looking for the vampire that bit your mom in the year 1967. Guess what? It was me. I'm your vampire dad. It's like, what? It's a big fucking family reunion, chat. Blade, he just can't believe it. And then Deacon Frost and Blade's mom just start smooching in front of Blade. It's fucked up. It's like, this is weird. And he's like, I'm going to become a blood god now. Follow me. And everyone goes to the ancient temple, chat. Blade gets dropped off. Blade's talking with Karen. He's like, Karen, I want to become human. She's like, I don't know if we're going to have that chance, man. He's going to become a blood god soon. And apparently, through this ritual, he can then expunge his essence throughout all the people of New York and also turn them into vampires. And everyone gets led to the temple, chat. Oh! Darcy, thank you for the 5 minutes. It was me, Blade. It was me all along. Third act reveal, chat. Third act reveal. Thank you for the 5 minutes, good sir. Mom played by Sana Lathan. Yeah, she looks great in here, too. No, she does a good job. She does a good job. Wish she was in the movie more. But yeah, they go in there and they fucking... Deacon Frost is monologuing this place. Monologuing to the vampire council. He's going to sacrifice to become a blood god. Monologuing to Blade. Monologuing to Karen. It's like, it's all about me right now, guys. And he fucking takes Blade's sword. It's like, oh, it's about to go off and like fuck up his hand, but it doesn't, chat. Because like, listen, Blade, I've studied you. I know all your moves for decades. I know what you're all about, okay? You're not gonna one-up me. There's nothing that you got gonna one-up me. And Blade's like, but I got explodey juice. And he's like, explodey juice? He grabs the explodey juice, chat. This, you mean? Ha ha! And he throws it, chat. He throws it. Maybe it got destroyed. You don't have any more explodey juice, and you can't use that in the third act now. Blade goes, damn it! And so he's like, send him to the chamber. And he gets sent to the chamber, chat. Meanwhile, they take Karen to the pit. Ooh, Christian, thank you for the host. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well, my friend. They take Karen to the pit. And then they start talking now, Karen, you know that you now know that there are pure-blooded vampires, which we are not, me and Donald Logue. And then there are regular vampires, which we are, we were bitten. But there's also a third tier. There's a lower class tier. These are zombie vampires where they fucking feed on anything. They rot. They don't have a long lifetime. And we're going to introduce you to one of the, I think you might know him. They throw down on a pit, chat. She's like, what the fuck is this all about? And then who comes out of the dark, chat? It's Creepy Curtis. Remember in the beginning of the movie? It's Creepy Curtis. He's back. He's like, Karen, do you think that there still could be something between us? He goes, man, and he's trying to bite her, trying to, I don't know, bite her, make love to her, we don't know. And she just beats the shit out of Creepy Curtis. Just like, yeah, fuck him up. I mean, he's having a bad day, though. He's a zombie vampire now. Thought he was that long to live. Honestly, thank you for the host. So she fucking just starts to crawl there, Chad. And Creepy Curtis is like, Karen, help me. It's like, I kind of feel bad for him. He's just so pathetic. But he gets up there. Meanwhile, they start performing the ritual, chat. They line up all the vampire council under specific glyphs. Deacon Frosty's in the middle. Fucking his girlfriend kills one guy because he says something mean to her. Meanwhile, we cut up to the upper chamber, chat, where they're loading Blade up into this little sarcophagus where his blood's going to be extracted and then put inside of the pure blood vampires, and then also Deacon Frost. And then we get like a very weird scene here, chat, where his mom is like nuzzling his chin with her lips and nose. And I'm sorry, this did not seem like a mother-son thing. This felt very sexual to me. And maybe that was not the intention of the filmmakers or the actors during this scene. But it's like, okay. But basically it plays out where she's like, I'm not that same person that you didn't even know. That person died years ago. I'm a vampire. I've killed people before. And I fucking liked it. Smooch. And it just felt very Lannister love. It felt very Lannister love. Yeah, it's like a Cersei, Jaime moment, chat. It did not feel motherly, and she puts him in there. But plus, she's fucking Deacon Frost, too. She's like, I don't really care anymore, and he's the one who bit me. So, and they start draining his blood, Chad. It drains. It falls on the head of all these pure blood vampires. Sweet home Alabama. Ding, 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 ding. Deliverance, Chad. Deliverance starts. Don't shame incest porn. I know, Chad. I shouldn't kink shame on this stream. And so it all falls on their heads and fucking, woo, spooky. And we get, again, this is the... I like the idea of everything that's happening here, but it just doesn't look good. The CGI is just... This is where that's like, okay, clearly that's the CGI budget just... It just wasn't enough. And where the vampires birth like little skeleton vampires, they look super fake, and they all fly up into the air, and they all go inside Deacon Frost Tum-Tum, and he becomes like a blood god and shit. And Karen, she shows up. I think she blasts somebody. Like, he's being beautiful like vampire probably. She goes up to Blade. She's like, Blade, how are you doing? He's like, I'm not doing too well. I'm about to die. She's like, don't die, Blade. Here, fucking suck my blood. And he's like, okay. He starts sucking shit. He starts nibbling. He becomes super powered Blade now. He's like fucking over 9,000 Blade. And he starts running down the temple steps to get Deacon Frost. But meanwhile, the ceremony's over. Deacon Frost, all the vampire spirits are inside his tum-tum. And he becomes the vampire blood god. I guess it lives in him. And he's like, whoa! And Blade, and then we get like a fantastic practical hand-to-hand fight scene with Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes, he actually trained in martial arts, you can tell. I mean, they do some cuts and things between, and that's fine, but the action scene they showcase, Wesley Snipes does a fantastic job. He beats the shit out of all these people. He's fucking karate chopping, he's snapping necks, chat, he's throwing people in the brick walls, their skulls and spines are just caving on themselves. It's really good. He's just slicing and dicing people. Karen, she squirts some garlic juice into Deacon Frost's girlfriend's throat. Boom! Oh, by the way, Blade kills his mom too. I forgot to say that. He stabs his mama with a bone. She goes, ah, and she dies because she's weird and super sexual to him. She's a sexual predator, chat. And he's like, no, I don't want that in this movie. And so she's dead. And then the only person, he kills Donald Logue in a very funny way. Donald's like, I'm going to get revenge on you, Blade. Ah, he runs up and fucking Blade just uses the silver, I don't know, like cord, and he just cuts Donald Logue's head off, and it's like really fucking slick, and he catches his sunglasses in midair and puts them on. He's like, let's fucking go, Deacon Frost. And him and Deacon Frost get into a samurai sword fight, chat. They just start stabbing and slashing and cutting and slicing and dicing, and at one point, fucking Blade, he has the upper hand. He cuts fucking Deacon Frost's hand off, chat, his arm, and he slices him in two. But thank God for 1997 computer animation, he saved chat. His body reforms. His body reforms and he grows back on him. He's like, I have Windows 95 technology, Blade. I am immortal. And Blade goes, the fuck? And he actually says, the fuck. Ooh, Von Diesmo, thank you for the follow. Welcome to stream. And they get into more wrestling matches, chat. But Blade's like, fuck, what am I gonna do? And it's like, you can't kill me, Blade. I'm a fucking god. And Blade's like, wait a minute. The exploding juice, and he sees, chat, the exploding juice did not get destroyed. It's in a crevasse, and so Blade, he takes the sword and he throws it at the crevasse, but it doesn't fall. It's like, you fucked up, Blade. You missed it by that much. And he's like, did I, motherfucker? And the fucking Blade handle explodes, and the exploding juice falls down, and Blade catches all of it, and he throws it at Deacon Frost's tummy, and he goes, my tum-tum, and he gets the bubbly gut shade. He's like, I don't feel so good. I'm feeling bloated. And Blade's like, hold on, motherfucker. I have one more. And he throws it at Deacon Frost's head. And then Deacon Frost just becomes very swollen. He becomes very swollen, chat. And he explodes. It's like a hot water balloon going off. And that's it. And Deacon Frost, despite becoming an immortal blood god, chat, if you have exploding juice, that's it. It negates God. And so he dies. R.I.P. Tum-Tum. And so Deacon Frost is eliminated. Fucking Karen goes, good job, Blade. Let's get the fuck out of here. They climb up the ladder, chat. They witness a beautiful sunrise, and she goes, I have the vampire cure back home. I'll inject myself again. I can inject you, and Blade's like, you do, you lived your life, Karen, but my war is not over. There's still vampires out there, still either vampire warlords I have to defeat. My fight continues on. In chat, we cut to maybe several months later. We're now in Moscow. And we're seeing this couple. They're going to a vampire club. What's happening, chat? It's like the beginning of the movie. And this lady is like, I ain't never been in this place. Where are you taking me? He's like, don't worry about it. He goes, you're a vampire. Hell yeah, I am. He's about to bite her, chat, about to nibble on her neck. But then fucking Blade shows up. And he starts sprecking some Russian. And the guy sprecks some Russian too. And he's like, fuck you, comrade. And he stabs him. And Blade stabs in the tum-tum, chat. And that's the movie. That's Blade. Now, a little bit of a fun fact for your chat. That was not the original ending to the movie. This will blow your goddamn minds. The original, which you can find on YouTube, chat. The original ending was that Blade was supposed to be visited by another Marvel vampire. Do you guys know who that is? It was Morbius, Michael Morbius, the Spider-Man villain, chat. Matter of fact, the director of the film, what's his name? Stephen Norrington, he had actually dressed up as Morbius, and that was going to be the reveal. Is that I don't know if he was going to be like the new villain for the movie or they were going to team up for the sequel, but that was the original ending they shot. The thing was, though, the studio said, people don't know who the fuck Morbius is. They don't know what this is. Who is that? This is some guy in some rags. Reshoot the ending, and then they shot another ending where he's in Russia, chat. But again, it's kind of cool that it's like, oh, Morbius shows up in Blade. Because I would love to see Morbius show up in a Blade movie. That thing would be appropriate. Well, fucking vampires or vampire characters, it makes sense. But overall, chat, I think they went with the right ending, in my opinion. I think, Morbius is cool, but they made the right choice. Black Sheep, thank you for the 20 biddies. Hope you're doing well, good sir. Good to see you. This is a great film, chat. Like, this movie is 22 years old, and so much about it holds up. Like, the acting's really fun. Blade does Wesley Snipes does a great job. Last Supporting Cast does a great job. What's his name? Steven Dorff is a great villain as Frost. And a lot of the practical effects really hold up. The actual fight scenes and choreography is really fun. Wesley Snipes, you could tell he loves, at least for this first movie. I know that he became extremely difficult to work with by the third one, but here he seems to really care about this character. And you could tell that he is really into it. Even like some of the corny stuff that he does, like in the middle of the fight scene when he does something really cool, he goes, yeah! I was like, that's kind of fun. Yeah! And so my only negative thing about this movie that I have personally is the CGI is dated. And that this happens because it's 1998 and all CGI from that era. And, there's some exceptions, of course. Jurassic Park, maybe. But a lot of films of CGI in the 90s of that era, in the early 2000s, mid-2000s, it just doesn't age well. And I wish they had just went with practical effects, but I get it. They're trying to save money, so I can understand. But still, overall, but despite that, chat, it's a really entertaining movie. It's the granddaddy, the grandfather of superhero films. I recommend checking it out. I recommend buying Blu-ray. This is a full-price film, chat. This is a solid full-price film. I really loved it. What about you guys? What do you think of Blade? Curious. Jet Li was supposed to play Frost, but he chose Lethal Weapon 4 instead. Ooh, he might have made the wrong choice. I like Stephen Dorff as Frost. I think he did a great job. Yeah. Deacon Frost eats a girl. Hell yeah, I gotta watch this. Eats. So there's a kid. Whoa, Shinkan. That's awesome. I didn't see this in the theater as a kid. My parent wouldn't let me. Like, no, it's just violence. Don't talk about my mom. And he fucking freaks out. He pulls out his gun and goes, bang, bang, bang. And he shoots at Deacon Frost. Cool little CGI bullet dodge. Before the Matrix, chat. It was before the Matrix. True.
Blade takes full credit for the bullet dodge. And then we get one of the absolute funniest scenes in the movie, chat. Because Deacon Frost dodges the bullets, takes the girl, and he just fucking chucks her. She goes, ah! And she just goes right in. She'd be dead. She's definitely dead. She goes through a concession stand, chat. You know, like a fucking hot dog concession. She goes like right through that.
She gets eaten. Oh my god. No, thank you so much, Austin. I'm going to share that clip. We got a new follow, chat. N Walker94, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing very well tonight. Just finished my review for Blade, chat. I'm going to go ahead and see what you guys are saying. Gotta do my Batman review next. Devin, high full price. Nice. M. Xavier, watch the movie, M. Xavier. Check it out, my friend. Darkstar, love it. Very cool, very cool, very cool. Sir and Baby Blade was a great movie. Yes. Stranger Shoot Team Edward. Oh, I thought the ending Deacon Frost turned into a blood tornado. Oh yeah. What else we have right here? No, do check it out, guys. Andy, to which, to speak about the practical effects is that they were done by Greg Kincaid, who won an Oscar for Bram Stoker's Dracula, Mrs. Doubtfire, Benjamin Button. Wow. Vice, and only did Bale and Adams. He also did the Lost Boys and The Mask. Cool. I was Caleb, just watch it here and there if my TV works. All right, fair enough. You rascal. Chip Con, I remember Blade in the Spider-Man animated. Yes, was white. Was he white? Was he really white? I don't remember. It's been so long. I thought he was black. And maybe not. Maybe they're like, hey, we can't have that in this show. That's too bad. That's fucked up. Blade was like one of the few Marvel superheroes during that time period people like were aware of, like comic book fans were aware of. That's really fucked up. I don't like that at all. But yes, apparently the film's director was gonna do a prequel about Deacon Frost of Dorf. Whoa, really? Oh, that's interesting. Huh. That would've been cool. Yeah, but it just didn't pan out. The studio was like, actually, no, Wesley Snipes. He did a good job. No, he was black. Okay, I just don't remember. It's been so long. Blaze, why we have Marvel movies. No, I agree. That's what I'm saying, Devin. Like, we owe a lot to Blade, Chad. That is the grandfather of modern day superhero films. It may not have sold itself as a comic book movie, but that's what got things going. Marvel credits Blade as like, without Blade, we wouldn't have been able to greenlight Spider-Man or X-Men or any of our films. We wouldn't have the chat. Probably wouldn't have the MCU without Blade. So we owe a lot to the original film. That's why, and it ages well. It's a good movie. It's a good movie, chat. Pale brown skin. Oh, I got you. They did some whitening. I got you. Yeah. Why does Blade age? He's not a vampire, Xavier. He's a damn fear. He's a damn fear where he has vampire abilities, but he also has human features as well, characteristics. So he naturally ages, but it's like he has like a hodgepodge of different powers and weaknesses and stuff. Yeah. He slashed so they could assemble. There you go, chat. Nah, that's a great way to put it, Naya.